Hello, queens and kings. It's Dana Stewart Codes, Killer Queen Antique Jewelry. Recently, I've had many of you ask me about how to restore your dull amber. Maybe it's just worn from time or wear or cosmetics. Your own body oil or sweat can dull the finish of amber, which is only 4 on the mole scale. So anything under 4, you want to be really careful. I tend to use either very mild solution of dish liquid, or what I really like to use is a foaming facial cleanser. And that will remove most of the dullness and any makeup or body oil or sweat that you have on the piece without damaging the finish. But let's say you were a little zealous and you cleaned your silver in something like Tarnex or a silverware cleaner, and it cleaned the silver, but it destroyed the amber, or you think it destroyed the amber. Probably just destroyed the outside finished polish on the amber. So earlier I recorded it and something happened to the recording, but luckily I only refinished one of these earrings. And of course this one is redone and beautiful now, and this one is dull. Started to work on it when I was watching the video back. So I'm going to teach you how to restore the finish on amber with just a 4-sided nail file. Now you can see I used the most rough one first. These really are not in bad shape. I probably would only start at like 3 because they're just a little dull. Now if you have a piece that you put into like Tarnex or another caustic cleaner and it just looks like chalk, I'm going to show you how to take care of it. Take the roughest side. I'm going to do a little bit with this roughest side because these aren't that bad. Now, actually I'm just going to do the top, the table of the gem. This has a nice rounded edge, so most of your amber, it won't hit the silver. Now, if the whole thing is dull, then you want to make sure that you sand the whole thing. It's usually just the top layer. Even though it looks bad, it's usually just the top layer that has been damaged. So I'm only going to do that much, but I want you to see that it will bring up a yellow dust. Amber is a form of resin, hundreds of millions of old tree sap, as a matter of fact. So you just want to lift that dust up. So that's step number 1. This is step number 2. This one is to use to neaten the edge of a nail. But you want to just make sure that you're going to go in and lift the surface of that amber up, just like you'd be buffing a nail. In between each step, I just take my thumb and smooth it off to smooth off some of the dust. If there, you could take a little bit of paper towel if there's a lot of dust. You want to make sure it hit every surface. Now this one wasn't that bad, so I'm not going to go through all that. Then we're going to go to number 3. And as they get smoother, you can put your elbow into it. You want to hold firmly onto your piece. If you don't have a little vise or grip to hold it and it's uncomfortable, you could use a paper towel or microfiber towel to hold it into your hand. But this is quite comfortable for me. Now you'll see with 3, I'm going over the whole piece because these were a little dull. And I think it was just from age and wear, to be quite honest with you. So there's 3. Then we'll go to 4. And again, making sure you go over the entire piece. And do a nice, we'll try to do a nice even buffing of it. You can see each time I'm lifting up a bit of the dust from the amber. It's actually collecting on there a little bit. So that was 4. We're going to go to 5, which this one has a 5 and a 6. And I want to do this in real time. I feel when people fast forward and chop it up, they're really not showing you all of the steps. I think it's quite important for you to get a good finish on this to know them all and to see them being done. Okay, now we're going to clean that off and do 6. You can see already it's so much better. So 6 is the polish. You just can't give it enough polish. So normally I'll sit and watch TV or listen to some music while I do this. All right, the final step. This is a French body oil. You can use a facial oil. Anything that you're going to use on your skin as far as body or facial oil is fine for your softer gemstone. Pearls, amber, coral. It all likes a bit of oil. So do your hands. At least my hands do. Now let that sit on for a couple minutes, and before I wear them, I'll wipe them off. Oh. Hopefully that was helpful to help you restore your amber. I hope it didn't do both sides. It's quite difficult to get behind it unless you would use like a buffing electric tool. That's for your nails, same thing. That is a little bit quicker than using this file, but then you have to change all of the heads, and it's probably just easier to use this type of file, a 4-sided. Well, I hope that helps. I'm happy to answer any questions. If you want to leave a question in the comment about amber, or if you have a question about anything jewelry related, feel free to leave it. I hope you like this tutorial, you like the channel, and you would consider subscribing. Have a wonderful rest of your day.